But I was scared. I was like, I don't want to go out there and make a fool of myself. But something that you realize is, number one, we're not going to the league. Don't operate out of fear. We don't compare ourselves to scrubs. Come on, what are we talking about? We're not meant to just have goals, to just write our goals down, to just pursue our goals. No. We're meant to attack them. If I didn't learn nothing else in this life, I learned that we literally have to take the world by storm to get what we want out here. To really, you gotta beat your goals into submission. Literally. You cannot be out here timid. You can't be out here unsure. You can't be out here doubtful. You can't be out here hopeless and having wishful thinking. I heard a quote yesterday. It's not the first time I heard it, but I heard this quote. It says 2 types of people in this world. Number 1, you got the wishful, the people who hope and wish and pray. And there's nothing wrong with praying. Don't get me wrong. But hope and wish and pray and just go through life thinking it's all gonna just magically fall into place. The people who have things that they want, but they sit back and wait for them to happen. Waiting. This one video I saw, dude said, some people say, I'm just waiting on God. I'm just waiting on God. Meanwhile, God's waiting on you. What are you waiting on? People say they're waiting on God, not because they're really waiting on him. They're not waiting on him. They just scared. They're just scared. Like they think God's gonna write a message in the clouds telling them what they need to do. When in reality, he's waiting on you to do it. If we spend the rest of our lives waiting, we'll be waiting forever. And we never gonna get it done. So I got this group of guys, right? We hoop every now and then. We might go to the LA Fitness. We might go to this place. It's like outdoor parks we go to, whatever the case, right? Now, I wouldn't act like I grew up playing basketball. Like, I was on a team in high school. I ain't really deserve to be on that team. I'm not gonna lie. It just wasn't that many boys. And I feel like I was filling a spot on the bench. You understand what I'm saying? So, but basketball has always been fun for me. Even when I'm not great, it's just fun. I grew up being athletic. I wasn't the best basketball player, but I've always been athletic. I've always been agile. I've always had athletic ability. I take that into my adulthood. I remember the first time that they said they wanted to hoop, I was nervous because I had not touched a basketball in like probably 4, 5, 6 years. Like, outside of playing with my little sister at home, I had not touched no basketball. But I was like, I want to though. But I was scared deep down. Like, this, it sounds silly. It sounds silly. And they don't probably even know this. But I was scared. I was like, I don't want to go out there and make a fool of myself. But something that you realize is, number 1, we're not going to the league. At this level, at this stage in our lives, nobody is going to the league. If you're judging me because I airball, look, bro, you're not going to make it just because you think you're better than me. If you didn't make it by now, you're not going. If I was allowed, like, let's think about this for a second. If I was to allow myself to be scared and not hoop just because I didn't want to be judged, imagine you just never hoop again because you in your 20s and you wake up one day, you're 60 years old, like, wow, I haven't played basketball in 50 years because you were afraid? Come on, what are we talking about? Like, that is literally what happens to people. That's literally what happens to people. You don't do something, you're afraid, and 40 years pass by and you finally realize that you wasted your life. I just can't imagine a world where I allow myself to do that to me. I can't imagine a world where I allow anybody around me to do that to them. Anytime I catch somebody sabotaging themselves or tricking themselves out their own spot, I be like, look, bro. I try not to step on toes in a way where it's like I'm speaking on somebody else's business that has nothing to do with me. But at the same time, if I care about somebody and I know that they care halfway about me, that they gonna probably receive it, I'll be like, look, bro, I'm always encouraging people, don't do that. Don't move, don't operate out of fear. Living based on fear is the best recipe for lifetime failure. If you really want to fail in life, if you just want to fail to the highest degree, allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Do that. That's the way. That's the glitch. If you want to fail, I promise you, let that fear consume you and let it control you. That's the glitch. That's the telling you. Tap in. That's the way. Now, I went out and hooped with those boys, right? Garbage. As anybody out there, I'm talking about air balls. I'm talking about the ball hit the corner of the backboard. I'm talking about losing the ball, turnovers, getting blocked. Garbage. But guess what? I'm not going to the league. We know that. He's not going to the league. I let them know from day one, I'm here to have a good time. But when I went out there, I gave it my all. Nobody can ever say that Austin did not give his all. Which is funny because if you knew me growing up, my parents can attest. I was always kind of like scared on the football field, or I didn't really give him all in track because I was tired, whatever. Weak-minded though. And those were organized sports. As an adult today, I'm playing with the guys and I'm giving it my all. Why? Because that's how I operate. I don't do things, especially now. And really, if it's something I don't care about, you really won't catch me doing it. It's not even like I'm gonna do it halfway. I just don't do it. But when it comes to things I care about, absolutely, I'll give it my all. I play basketball with the guys the same way I would play if I was trying to go to the league. I know I'm not going, but I want to do my best. And I want to improve. You put forth your best effort and you allow yourself room to grow. When you put forth a half effort, you never stretch your ability, so you never give yourself the opportunity to expand. I was watching a video yesterday from my favorite guy, Alex. Yes. He just has some of the best ideologies I've ever heard about business and life. He said, you're not perfect, so you can always get better. He said, if you think something that you've done is the most you'll ever do, that means you think this is the strongest you'll ever be, and this is your cap. So if you hit your bench PR, he said, if you put a penny on top, you couldn't do it? No, that's not how it works. You can always get better. The same way I attack the court when I'm acting like I'm going to the league when I know I'm not, I treat my life the same way. I treat my goals the same way. I treat my aspirations and what I want to do the same way. Like the 5K, I ran a 5K a couple weeks ago. I ran it with a few of the guys, right? I was thinking, I hope these guys don't come here trying to run slow and just be cool and just let's go for a little jog, let's have fun. No, I'm not here for fun. I'm here because I want to challenge myself. And I'm glad that they were on the same type of time. They were on the same type of time. They did the best that they could do. I didn't want to go out there and be like, yeah, we just going to keep it cool and just, like, no. I want to challenge myself. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about find out what I can do. What am I capable of? And I want to be surrounded by people who do the same thing. I went out there and I ran a 25:39, and then I found out that that's not even super incredible. Like I was at the top of the leaderboard, but there are people that was running 16, and there was also people that ran 40. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another thing. You can't really judge. You can't really compare yourself. Prime example. Rest in peace to my brother Julian. He said, we don't compare ourselves to scrubs. One of my good friends, Daryl, he said before Julian passed, because they all used to rap, or Daryl still rap, but they was all rapping. And Daryl was trying to do something, and Julian was like, nah, that's trash. Pretty much. Like whatever it was, he was like, nah. And Daryl was like, bro, all these guys are doing this, and why can't I? And Julian was like, we don't compare ourselves to scrubs. And Daryl was like, touche. We don't. Why? If I wouldn't want to switch places with you, why would I ever listen to your advice? Why would I ever compare myself to how you do things? You are a loser. I don't want to be anything like you. We don't compare ourselves to scrubs. Like, let's say it's people out there at that 5K, they run 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, I did great. But if you didn't do your best, you didn't do great. And even when you do your best, sometimes your best isn't enough. We're not talking about the 5K right now. We're talking about life. Sometimes you just have to do better, regardless of what your best is. Sometimes you just need to expand. Sometimes you just need to grow. Sometimes you just need to do what is required. That's something else I learned about life. And it don't always have nothing to do with what we're capable of doing right now. It's about what we are capable of on a long enough timeline. I did 25, but somebody did 16. I can get better. And then I was helping somebody move last week. One of the guys that was there, he said he ran a 5K. He used to run cross country. He ran a 19 in high school. 19. That's 6 minutes. He could have finished, and he could have ran an extra mile by the time I was done. I have work to do. It doesn't mean I'll compare myself to that. It just means that there's more that can be done. And if I keep training, if I keep working, I can get better. That's all it means. I want to get better in my life. 1% better every day. I think that's what we should all be trying to do. So the same way I attack that court, the same way I attack life. Last time I hooped last week, one of my guys said, I remember when you first got on the court, he knew I wasn't that great. He said, yeah, you were playing at this level at one point, but now look at you. Not because I'm doing nothing super spectacular, but because I'm putting in work. I put in effort. At first I was out there, I was losing the ball all crazy. I had bad court vision. I was airballing, I was doing this and that. And even if I do still sometimes mess up, the way I handle the ball is just much different now because I have the reps. You put the reps in, then you'll see the results. Somebody say if you put the work in, it's going to work out. The same way that I've improved in the basketball court is the same way I can improve anywhere. Same way you can improve anywhere. Just put the reps in. It's going to come together. But you can't be scared out here. You can't be timid. You can't half step. You gotta step on their neck and don't let up. The world is ours for the taking. We just gotta come get it. Everything you want can be had. You just gotta go get it. Austin's Lens with another video, man. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like the video, comment what you thought, share it with somebody who needs to hear it, man. Subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.
Yeah, hey.